Hello, everybody. Let me know where you're from. I got a old question up there. I got a new question for you. So I'm going to get rid of that question. Let me know in the comments where you're watching this from. And if you have any questions, have you been watching the season of Nuance, which, by the way, our Connected Dogs season of Nuance. We took it down on Sunday night, but we have it opened for 24 hours because we had so many of you said, I just had one more to watch. So you can still access the season of Nuance until tonight at midnight. But today, it's all about recallers because recallers registration is open and it is open only until Thursday. That's like 48 hours, less than 48 hours. So yeah, it's like 30-ish hours. So if you have any questions at all about what it looks like for you becoming a member of our recallers community, please leave me a question in the chat and we are going to find it and answer it for you. So many recaller students are already on here. I got to tell you, so we open registration for recallers on Monday morning. And when you join recallers, there's 4 games for you to play, like 4 new ones, in addition to obviously the ones you had in the season of Nuance. And I love all of you people that are new to recallers. You're jumping in, you're being earnest, you are playing the games, you're sharing your joy. I love all of it. I love the feedback. Thank you for all of the good comments that you're making on those 4 videos. So, and don't be overwhelmed. There's 4 videos, do one at a time. That's all we can do, right? It's like getting dressed. One leg goes in at a time. Okay, so right now, I'm going to ask a question, but first, I'm going to ask you to share this live, and I'm going to do a draw at the end of today, and I'm going to give away, where's my other toy? I'm going to give away a different one today. Fat, can you bring me? Where did you put it? Oh, there it is. Bring me. So I asked him, bring me, which means get the toy, put it in my hand. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, you can go hop it back up. Good man. Okay, love this tug toy. So great people for my Merles. There's a number of their toys that I like, but this is one of my favorites. I can put it into my hand small. I can throw it when I'm training. It's super, but it still has a bungee on it. We're going to give away one of these. All that you have to do is share today's live somewhere in social media. Come on back to the comments, write shared. Most importantly, where you shared it, so that when we do our random draw, we can go and double check that, yes, you did share it. Then you get entered into a draw and we are going to give away a prize. Hello, Margaret from Texas. What part of Texas? We got a Texan right here Lisa McClure from Texas too. We got a Texas sitting right over here visiting. A friend of mine, recaller member, longtime friend visiting from Texas. Watching from Toronto. Hello, Nanette. I have an interesting question. And this one, I'm hoping will create some level of, I'm not sure about that. So look at this picture of the dog that I've put up on the screen. Oh, it's funny that it's these pictures right below it. On a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, I guess, with 0 being, oh, that's super easy, and 10 being, that's impossible. How difficult would it be to get this dog to sit on cue? Do you see this dog? Leash is tight, mouth is open, teeth are bared, all 4 paws are off the ground on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 to 10, with 0 being, oh, that would be easy. Yeah, I could get that dog to sit, no problem. How difficult would it be to get that dog to sit? Okay, we have so Sally thinks it would be easy. Stephanie thinks a 9. Sally says, yeah, she got her scoring. Yeah, so Sally's like, sorry. So Susan thinks it's a 7. And Sally says 10. Angie says 10. And once you've cast your vote, how easy would it be to get that dog to sit? Put in why? Why would it be easy or why would it be difficult? So we've got everything from, we've got 6 all the way up to 10. 6 all the way up to 10. So why do you think it would be almost impossible? Those are you putting a 9 or 10. And why do you think it would be not that difficult if you're putting like a 5 or a 6? Penny, you're so smart, Penny. Penny Palmer said, we have to get him out of that state. Angie said the same thing. So many of you are saying the same words, over threshold. He appears to be agitated. There's 2 things I want to talk about here. Highly aroused in the lizard brain. 10, redlining. Exactly. So a lot of sensational dog trainers will take a dog like this and say, you cookie pushers, you talking about those of us who believe that dog training should be kind to the dog. And they say, how are you going to get this dog to behave? Let's say this dog's lunging at a kid on a skateboard, or this dog's lunging at another dog as you're out on a walk. How do you get this dog to sit? And they will be able to get that dog to sit. I'm not going to say the name of a social media dog trainer that will get that dog to sit. And how does he do it? Because he makes the dog more afraid of him than he is afraid of the dog or the person on the skateboard. So he's more afraid of what would happen if he doesn't sit than he is wanting to aggress at or be fearful of or be excited by the child, the other dog, whatever. So we don't do that in our world. What we do is we consider the emotional state of the dog. And the number one, we talked about this in the last live, number one thing, all animals, you, me, your dog, number one thing we need before we can sit, before we can respond to education, the number one thing we need is psychological safety. Physical safety and psychological safety, they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, you could feel psychologically unsafe without feeling physically unsafe, but in this dog's case, excuse me, if the trainer is kind of manhandling them, the dog would feel both psychologically unsafe and physically unsafe. So we know we have to first provide safety. Now, can you take a dog in that state? Can a dog in that state sit when you ask? They can, if that's important to you. So let's say, and maybe I'll do a little demonstration with Prophet. I'm not sure if I can get him quite into that state, but I will try my best. I'm going to get him tugging. I'm going to get him really, really amped up, and then I'm going to ask him to sit. Okay. So maybe not quite to that level of excitement, but I'm going to get him as excited as I can. All right. So I'll take that question off the screen so you can see. Just because I stood up doesn't mean you can get up. So he predicted, oh, we're going to do a demo, you and me, right, Mom? I can stand up. That doesn't mean that you are going to stand up. You have to wait until we're invited. Do that, please. And they'll take the demo. They don't need that house. Private break. Start. Ready? Ready, set, yay! Yay! So just because a dog is excited, is it? Strike! Yeah. Boy. Okay, there you go. So it is possible to have a dog be in a more aroused state and still listen. But you have to get there through safety. You can't get there and have long-term success in teamwork getting there any other way. Okay? So, so there's a lot of suggestions of what you can do. What you want is to have a dog. Can you bring me that toy? Thank you. Can you go in your bed? What we want to do is have a dog who we can get to an aroused state in a place they know is safe and get them to respond to anything we say. And then we need to grow those different environments. And that's what a program like Recallers does. It gives you the layers that you can have success with your dog. And we've got all kinds of questions that have come in for us to answer about Recallers and about individual problems that you may have. And I want you to ask the question, which I asked at the beginning. If you look on the description of this video, the question is your dog worth Recallers? Because people say to me, or they say to our students, is Recallers worth it? That's not a great question. The question is your dog worth it? Is your dog worth engagement and education? Is your dog worth a world where he gets this freedom, where he will come when he's called, when he knows how to walk on a loose leash, where he knows how to do these behaviors? Is your dog worth it? That's the question. The program is worth it. There's no doubt about it. Is your dog worth it? That's the question. Okay, questions.
I'm going to start by age. So start 1, 2, 3. And then
okay. So this is about an 8-week-old puppy. I'm getting an 8-week-old puppy July 1st. Should we start Recallers now? Does it teach basic skills? And is it specific enough for a puppy? Okay, so Cindy, I'm not sure what specific, is it specific enough for a puppy? Recallers is exactly how I raise my puppies. Exactly, step by step. What supplements Recallers is the coaching. So as you are raising that 8-week-old puppy, you will get coaching from us when you say, put up your hand and say, my puppy won't sleep through the night. Boom, you get an answer. You get an answer. So is it specific enough for a puppy? It is the absolute best thing you can do for a new puppy. We have a puppy here who is she 9 weeks old now? Just turned 9 weeks old. And she is already a shining star at some of our games. And Simone has only had her like a week, and she was sick for a couple of days in that week. So she's already a shining star. There is no better thing you can do for your 8-week-old puppy. Obviously I have a kind of a tainted view because I created the program, but I created the program and have changed the program, added to it, not so much as changed it, added to it based on the challenges that I see our students have. And so is it worth it? So you can see all of these people. Robin says definitely worth it. Sally says absolutely worth every penny. Corinna says the coaches are amazing. I wish everybody started in Recallers. There is nothing, there is no better thing you could do for yourself than your dog. You're going to come back if you join Recallers. And what my advice to you is, because we have a guarantee, I think everybody should join. You have 14 days to decide, is it everything they're saying it is? You have 14 days to get in, download the PDFs, play the games, be part of the community, and then say, yeah, it is worth it. Okay, Nat says worth the investment. Ashley says there's no better community to raise a puppy in, and we're all here to support you. Worth double the price. So no one is being told what to say here. These are all people who just joined this live, who are obviously in Recallers, who are giving you their experience. So absolutely 100% the best thing you can do for that puppy. Okay.
Number 2.
It's from Larry.
Yeah. So now we're moving on from a puppy
Oh,
to a
so
1-year-old.
we're going up in age. So
Yep.
Larry has a 1-year-old dog, recently found Susan after finishing in-person classes. Will I be able to continue to take our pup for walks, trips to the park, socializing while he's learning the new training method? Or will I be confusing him if I incorporate the techniques that we learned from in-person classes? That's a great question, Larry. I think the only thing that I would suggest you stop doing is if you're using food as a lure, a bribe. If you're getting the dog to follow the food, and if you really wanted to do it, you could, but I would put a little it's your choice into it as well. So if I was going to, what can I lure Prophet to do? Maybe I could take the puppy and lure the puppy to do something. So the puppy has not been lured, so that neither is Prophet, but I think he'd be more likely. So what I would do is I would hide the cookie in my hand and use my hand as a lure, but I would not release the food if the puppy was licking or chomping at it. So come here, Pat.
So I just want to tell you, they can't really hear you when you're waiting.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Okay, here, Fat. So I could try. Hold on, I'm going to try and change my audio. Okay, so you should be able to hear the audio even if I'm away. So I've got the cookie. I've got a big old cookie. I'm putting it in my hand. Come here, Fat. So I see how he's trying to chew at it. If I wanted to lure him, I would not feed him for chewing at that. And he's licking. So I would want him to follow if I was going to use a lure, but I don't want him to lick. So so I'm just going to throw in a game of It's Your Choice in here. And now you can follow, but you can't lick. He's like, I don't get this. Okay. Hey, Petty. There, now he's following Cook, but he's not licking. So that's the only thing that I would say. Thank you, buddy. You can go up a tap. That's the only thing that I would say if you're in an in-person class that's doing luring. Why?
No, I'm just asking you, do you have to change the
No,
sound?
the sound, it's now coming from here instead of the computer. So that should be bad. Yes, targluring. That's what we call it. Okay. So 2 boxers said, recall has changed the connection I have with my dog. 100%. So definitely join. Best investment I've ever made in my relationship. Bondi is thriving. Okay, so now we're moving up, and this is Suvi. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name, Suvi. I have a 3-year-old working line border collie who is sensitive, has separation anxiety, noise phobia, and high prey drive. She loves training, but she's really easily overwhelmed by sounds and movement, especially outside the house. Would Recallers program help a dog like her build more confidence and feel that the world is a little less scary? So that is an emotional case. So Recallers games will give her confidence, but Recallers games will not overcome the noise phobia. Recallers games will give you a way to redirect her focus. So without seeing your dog and without knowing how deep a behavioral issue you're dealing with, I can't promise anything except this. You will create a way to engage with your dog. And at 1 year old, if the phobia isn't deep-seated in right now, that you can redirect her out of that emotional state into something that is going to change her arousal. So if you are, hanging out, let's say at a park, walking quietly in a park, it would be easy to go, oh, what's that? Oh, what? I just heard something. But if you were playing a baseball game at that park and you're like out to bat and you heard the same sound, you're not going to go, oh, what's that? Because you're in a different arousal state. That's what Recallers games does for dogs, and people too a little bit, but that's what it does for the dogs. Okay, this one's from Tina. I'm very interested in Recallers, but unsure if my dog Sky is ready. She's a 5-year-old rescue and was mistreated. Hearts for Sky. I've had her for 3 years. She is food motivated and safe indoors, but is fearful and terrified of collars and leashes. I'd love to join recallers, but should I wait until she's more comfortable near me, or could the program help even if the pace is very slow? We 100% will help you get there. 100%. Because for the reasons I just stated, we are going to help change the emotional state of the dog in your home. And then there'll be games. So I tell all of our students, there will be games that your dog shines at. Those games are games that you will use as games of engagement in a new environment that might be a little bit scary. There are games that they're a work in progress, and there are games that you just learned, and like you're struggling with mechanics and the dog isn't really getting it. So you're going to pick one group of those games that you're going to play in new environments. And it's not going to be the ones that you're struggling with the mechanics. You're going to pick group A. My dog loves the games. My dog is really engaged. Now I can take those games on the road. And as you go through recallers, you might just start with 2 or 3 of those games. By the end of recallers, you probably will have 25 or 30 of those games, and you'll have less and less in these categories, right? So the more tools that you have to engage the dog, the more the dog is less aware of their environment because they're so focused on you and the fun that you're having together. Okay, this one?
Yeah.
I struggle to follow a training plan. It feels like the layers aren't coming together. My 2-year-old dog is reactive, doesn't walk nicely on a leash, doesn't fetch. I'm tempted to join recallers, hoping it will bring it together for us. So recallers with the community, you will be working on specific games, but working on them at different paces. So the person that we talked about with the dog that has a little bit of confidence issue, they're going to be going a little bit slower. You might be going a little bit faster, but the community is all working together. And the games get rolled out every 2 weeks. You get new games. And so we help you stay on track. We say to you, have you played with your dog today? We show you how you can build it into a habit that you do in your day. So just before I brush my teeth, I can do 2 recaller games with my dogs. Then I can brush my teeth. I turn on the coffee machine in the morning. Then I can play a recaller game, and then my coffee will be ready. So when it becomes part of your life, that's how it happens. Dog training, when it's a chore, when I first went to a dog training class, my very first class, I've been training dogs a long time before I went to a class, actually, 1988. And it was a class with lures and corrections. And I would get home from class and I would make a chart, all the things I'm supposed to work on: a sit stay, a come pop, whatever it was. I made a list and I wrote every day of the week, and I wrote a line. I wanted to practice each game, I think 10 times. I had 10 lines per day. I was very ambitious. But it was work. These are games, and the games produce results. They produce focus for work. They produce a dog that doesn't get distracted by their environment because they're so engaged with you and what you're doing. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's the system of the games that makes you want to keep playing.
May I read this one too? It's
Yes.
easier.
Okay.
Chris is asking, he has a 21-week-old Great Dane. We've had success with your perch work and crate games, but not with managing focus or impulse control. Would recolor still be a good fit for us, especially if I can't upload the videos or use Facebook?
So how old is the Great Dane?
21 weeks.
Okay. Remember it was that Great Dane when we went to their house,
Mhm.
and they tried everything. It was about a 8-month-old puppy. It was huge. So uploading videos, you do not have to upload videos to have success with recallers. We have some students that want that assurance from our coaches, but you don't have to. Watch the videos, download the PDFs, do the games, and you will get success. So the question is,
will he still have success for a dog with his size and
So depending on the history of what is reinforcing to that 21-week-old puppy right now, what we have to do is recognize this is what's reinforcing and this is what we want to be reinforcing.
He
And so
was in a play class.
he was in a play, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So puppy daycare or going to dog parks and just letting puppies have a free-for-all, what happens is when you walk your puppy down the street, they go, ooh, let go of me. This is where I got to go. And what happens is puppies learn where their source of reinforcement is. And we can't compete with other dogs. So if the puppy learns, and this goes with people who go to daycare as well as if you have other dogs in the house and you bring a puppy in and you go, I don't really have time to train you, but have fun with the other dogs in the house. Then they're 6 months old and you go, I guess I got to train this dog. It is so difficult then, not impossible, but it is more difficult because the dog has learned, your new little puppy has learned, this is my hierarchy of reinforcement. There's Freddie, there's Wilma, then there's Barney Rubble. These are the dogs that I get my reinforcement from. And where are you? You're on like at the very bottom. When you hold a food bowl, that's when you're important to me. So dogs that have had the opportunity to play without any criteria, those are the dogs that we really need to gently apply rules to. So all of these games have rules. Every game has rules. And so we need to create boundaries in the house, boundaries with other dogs, boundaries with things that we don't want them to do. But we want to create those boundaries in the form of a game that the dog loves to play every day. 100% your Great Dane will benefit by being in the structure of recallers.
So you're going on to some serious questions.
Okay, from Sheila. This is about the Connected Dog season of nuance. My dog gets so obsessed with a ball that he can't hear or focus on me. He also bolts out the apartment door. He'll stop and look when I call, but then keeps going. Also, he learned hand targets, but is very sloppy. How can I fix that? Okay, recallers. Sheila, it sounds like you need help. 100% you need help. The dog is ball obsessed, meaning that is the reinforcement. It doesn't transfer to you. It's with the ball. So we need to get a transfer of value from what the dog finds reinforcing into games so that it can come through you. That's what we need. And yes, the bump is sloppy. It's not something that is going to be perfect the first time you play it. All these things are mechanical skills. Like the first time I played guitar when I was 10 years old, it was kind of miserable. And I just kept practicing. I'm not saying that I'm a virtuoso or anything, but I can play guitar now. The first time you do things, and hand target, there's a lot of mechanics. When your mechanics gets better, your dog gets better. And so that's what we work on in recallers, is we work on you. Your dog will improve when we elevate your skills. That's the truth. Okay. Jane, I have a year-old Lhasa Apso who is very active. Struggled with toilet training, trying to get her interested in toys, stopping her from jumping on visitors. Can you give me more specifics from your nuance videos on how to work through these things, especially polite greetings, household habits? So Season of Nuance was 4 games. 4 games are going to give you a great step up on your way to having a relationship. But it's 4 games. It's like you've gone out on 4 dates with somebody. And then you say to a relationship counselor, how do I get him to build me a new house? I want a new house. I mean, I've gone on 4 dates. The least he can do is build me a new house. Relationships take time to develop and evolve. It isn't about, I've played 4 games. There's 40 games in recallers. And through those 40 games, it will blow your mind how much your relationship will change and evolve. Okay. I still like a new house.
That's awesome.
I dated you 4 times. I should get a new house. From Rose, what do you do with a dog that has stopped taking even high value treats? So Rose, I started out today by saying all dogs have one thing that must be satisfied before we can do any training. And that one thing is psychological or physical safety. So what I would do now, that may be a reason why your dog isn't taking high value treats. It could be that, Rose, are you free choice feeding? Like, is there dog food down that she can come to anytime she wants throughout the day? So we have to make food special. Feeding happens once a day or twice a day, depending on how you roll with your dogs. And the dog gets a chance to eat, and then the bowl gets picked up. So there's a lot of reasons why your dog, but if you say, I'm training in an environment where there's no reason for my dog to be afraid, so psychological safety and physical safety, 100%, like you're not on the, standing on a high wire saying, I want to teach you something, take this food. Like, yeah, no, I'm a little bit afraid I might fall. Safety, number one. Number two is, how available are those high value treats? Different trumps high. So if you have always trained with roast beef, and roast beef, yeah, that's a high value treat. But if the dog gets roast beef for breakfast and roast beef for dinner and you train with roast beef, it's no longer high value. Different is better than high value in this case. Okay, that's a great question. Vanessa just asked a great question. So Vanessa says, what is the time commitment? I need to find a human motivator. Vanessa, I'd love to be your human motivator. If we have done our job, which we've had tens of thousands of success stories and recallers that prove that we've done our job. If we've done our job, then the way we present the education to you motivates you to want to play. All we want to do is ask you to play these games. And the way that the games are structured is very particular, that you will get to a place where the dog is blowing your mind how brilliant they are. But you have to play the games in order. They're games. I'm not saying you have to do 20 repetitions of sit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're going to play these dynamic and active and engaging games, and your dog's going to get up in the morning and go, when do we get to play? That's easy to do, and that's what brings success. I don't think I have that video downloaded. So, but I do have a video. Do you remember that video? One of our recaller students made a song. Do you want to be a recaller's dog? So do you think I should share that one? So this is a little glimpse at some of our recaller students that one of our students, this was before AI. I think this was like 6 or 7 years ago. This was before AI. And she wrote and recorded herself singing this song. So let's have some hearts. And I'm going to show you this video about being a recaller's dog. Okay, here we go.
I want to be a recaller's pup. I want to be a recaller's pup. You took me from the beginning and look at me now. I want to be a recaller's pup. You got to know I'm fearful and heavily destructible, but please keep the good work up. Layer upon layer, results you will see, 'cause I wanna be a recaller's pup. And when I'm bad, don't get bad, don't be sad or give up. Remember me, I want to please you, see, 'cause I wanna be a recaller's pup. There's a way to help me stay connected to you. I
Okay, so how many different behaviors did you say that you went, yeah, I want that. I want that. It starts with a dog that is distracted by everything. We all start there. Some of us might be starting with a 9-week-old puppy that's distracted by everything. Some of us might be starting with a 15-month-old rescue dog that's distracted by everything. Or some of you might be starting with a 3-year-old dog that you've had for 3 years, but you did the wrong things because you did your best with what you knew at the time. And now you have a dog that's distracted by everything. Everybody starts in the same place, and the games create what you're looking for. And that video gave you a really great example of a bunch of different people who started in similar but different places that all got similar results. Okay, so if you go to recolors.com/join, there is, if you scroll down, there's a bunch of different recolor stories that you can see. I'm sure you will see somebody with a dog like yours, same age, maybe the same breed, the same circumstances. You are a busy single mom, you work full time, and you're looking after your geriatric patient, your parents. So how on earth would you have time to train your dog? You have to give yourself grace and realize this dog isn't going to be trained as well as she could be or he could be. But I'm going to put in, I think I can get in 3 sessions a week. I promise you, if you can only do 3 sessions a week, you're still going to see improvement. As long as you keep moving forward and you don't say, I've got to game 6, I'm stopping. That's where we come in and we help you to keep your motivation. It doesn't matter where you are. And the cool thing is, as I mentioned off the top, that it's a guarantee. We love our Recolors community, and we make a point of making sure the people who join Recolors want to be there. And how do we do that? Is we always have this guarantee. You won't find other dog training programs that will do this. We have this guarantee that you can try us out for 2 weeks. And if you can't say at the end of 2 weeks, yeah, these are my people, I see a change in my dog, I want to continue, then you don't even have to tell us why. Just ask for a refund and we'll happily give you all of your money back. Okay? Definitely recommended for first-time puppy owners, for sure.
So I have a couple more here.
Oh, Molly said you described my life just now. Hearts for you, Molly. Doing the best you can, and that's all your dog wants, is the best you can with all of the things you've got juggling in your life. You can still do it. You can still play these games. Does Recolors teach emergency downs and sit? As a matter of fact, it does. It's one of our games, game day 25. Yeah. Great question, Tanya. Thank you. Is there any special equipment needed? No, there's not. Yes, Nanette, you stated that as a statement. Yes, there's no special equipment needed. Leska, is it available? Is 12 months availability? Yes. The games are rolled out every 2 weeks. And then we start rolling out some of the bonuses, like the Bring Me game. How do you get your dog to retrieve? Or how do you get your dog to walk on a loose leash? So all of the extras are rolled out after the games, but you have 12 months to go through it all. How do we know when we to progress through the games? Is it Lena? That's a great question. And here's what we see, 2 extremes. We have the perfectionists in our Recolors community that want to make sure they get every game perfect before they progress. We encourage you not to be one of those people. We know we have big hugs if that's who you are innately, but your dog wants to keep learning. So what you do, as I mentioned earlier, you have games that you and your dog find pretty easy, games that are a work in progress, and games that you just can't seem to get the mechanics down right now. And you just bounce between them. Start every session with one of these so you and your dog are engaged. Go to either one or the other. I wouldn't recommend you go to both. But as you progress in Recolors, you will always be, there's some in pile A, some in pile B, some in pile C. Eventually, they're going to filter into pile A. And it's okay when it happens. So we also have people who say, oh, they're open, but I've only worked through game day 7, but I see it's open at game day 14. I'm going to jump ahead. That's when we're going to see struggle, because the games are created in a way that build behavior on behavior. And if you skip some layers, then you're going to improvise, and that's when you're going to struggle. You will have success if you play the games as they are rolled out. And it doesn't matter if you're going on vacation this summer for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. The program has a way of keeping track for you. There's a progress bar. It will bookmark the last game you played. You come back from vacation and you pick it up then. Our coaches are here to coach you wherever stage. It isn't like a regular in-person class where you have to be there, or the games or the class keeps progressing and you lose out. No, you play at your pace. That's certainly the way that everybody has success. Carla says, for sure, progress, not for perfection, for sure.
You say that Recolors is open now. Does that mean it's only open now? I don't have a puppy yet and I want to join, but it could be at least 6 months.
Okay, so registration is open all year round on our website, but it is at a higher investment. So I believe on our website it's like $800. And when we have these big series where we invite everybody to join for free to be part of our learning environment, and then we open registration for Recolors, it's like $499. So that's why we say it's closing. So
okay, I'm going to share this one, and
Yep.
you're going to give your insight. Susan, does it help with 2 unruly puppies who are not necessarily getting along? One's a bully, one's stressed while playing. I keep them completely separate, but does Recolors help me understand how to handle them?
So 2 puppies and one is a bully. Will Recolors help you? Yes. So with Recolors, so you're doing good things. You're keeping them separate. You don't want one puppy to be allowed to be a bully to the other puppy. It's very ambitious to own 2 puppies, so it takes a lot more focus. If you have the time to put into each of these puppies individually, we can help you be a success 100%. But I will acknowledge that it's ambitious of you. So it can be done. What you do is you keep the puppies separate and you play a game with one puppy and then you play with the other. Eventually, we want to get to a place where you can play with a puppy and the other puppy can be watching. That's what we want. We want to be able to get there. Then it gets a lot easier for you with those 2 puppies. Then you're going to see that they aren't going to be beating each other up as much because they're looking to you for their value. So it will get better for you.
And who are we training, Susan?
Yeah, we're always just training you. I can't go door to door and train every Recolors dog, but I can make sure myself and all of our coaches will help you get the mechanics down, which is why somebody mentioned my mechanics of my hand touch are sloppy. Of course they're going to be sloppy. You're a 10-year-old learning to play a guitar for the first time. And the more you practice, the more you're going to get very, very good at the mechanics of the hand touch or the mechanics of bring me a toy or all of the different games that we're going to play with your dog throughout Recolors. Okay.
Can we talk about the chat if anybody has specific questions?
Right. So we are following the chat along. If you guys have questions about playing these games with your dog, anything that we could help you with, please leave us a question. And if you want to know more about Recolors, if you go to recolors.com/join, at the bottom of the page is a live chat where if you have questions you don't want to ask publicly, somebody on my team can help you for sure.
Okay, I got a good one from Liz.
Liz.
How does Recolors compare to crate games and homeschool the dog? Is there overlap, or is it beneficial to do one first and then the order? Like, what would be the order?
So homeschool the dog, crate games, and Recolors. How do we negotiate them all? In Recolors is a version of crate games. So if you've already got crate games, you're going to start at that version because the crate games online is a little bit more robust than what's in Recallers. Recallers is enough for our Recallers community for sure. And then Homeschool the Dog was really like helping people to understand how games work, the mechanics of games. It's a very short program. It's 4 months old. It's only 4 months long, so that you can then come to Recallers. So we recommend, if you have an option like now that Recallers is open, start with Recallers. If you're in Homeschool the Dog, the transition to Recallers will be seamless. They are not the same games. There's a few core games that are the same, but they're brand new games that we're going to teach you in Recallers. And then, of course, with Recallers, you have all of these extra programs. How do I get my dog to walk on a nice loose leash and ignore distractions? How do I get my dog to bring a toy back or tug? My dog doesn't know how to tug. I want to teach my dog to tug. There's all these. Oh, why don't I show you? I've got these great little graphics that Erin has put together for me. So we have, just so I remember, there's the Tuggers module. It's 100% free when you join Recallers. Jaywalking. How do we walk with that nice J in the leash? It's a brand new program. And, you know, if I was selling this, it would be between $500 and $750, but it's 100% free, included in Recallers. How to deal with distractions. There's a webinar in there. Again, that's free. Barkenstein, that would be at least a $200 program if we sold it separately, but it's in Recallers as well with the Retrieve program, the Bring Me program. All right, so all of these are in there because our goal is to help our dogs, the people in Recallers, have the best life with their dogs. That's our goal. Okay. I don't have a big house and I don't have a fenced-in yard. Will this program work under these circumstances? Janelle, what a great question. I'm going to share a little secret with you, Janelle. I've owned dogs for 35 years, maybe more. 1988 is when I got my first dog of my very own. I have never lived in a place with a fenced-in backyard. I think that makes you a better dog owner. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a fenced-in backyard, but it means I've always gone out with my dogs when they go out to potty. Not having a big house for, I don't know, a year and a half, my husband and I lived in a one-room apartment with our 6 dogs. You just make a small corner of that house your training area. So when you get into Recallers, one of the first things we're going to give you is a way to set up your training den, and your dog looks forward to being in this little area every day with you. So, oh yeah, I forgot about that one too. Forgot about Pedicure Please. It's probably one of our most popular extra courses that we give people. So good thought. Pedicure Please teaches dogs how to love having their nails cut or their teeth brushed or whatever husbandry that has to be done. Pedicure Please gives my dogs tools. So if my dog has to go get an x-ray from the veterinarian, I give them these words and then my dog will do them. And they can have these x-rays without the panic of anyone having to restrain them. Do you do this price for Recallers once a year or maybe twice? Since I'm expecting a puppy in 6 months, is there a good chance I could get a good price when I'm closer to getting puppy? I can't guarantee that, but if you contact our team at wagatdogsthat.com, then certainly we're going to do what we can to help you out. However, this is what's so important. We are not training your puppy, you are. So do you think it would be better if you went through all of the learning, downloaded the PDFs, learned all that you can before you get that puppy, or while you're trying to deal with puppy's feeding schedule and not pottying on the floor and, oh my gosh, how do I get my puppy to sleep through the night? We strongly encourage our community, please, if at all possible, join Recallers before you get that puppy. Before you get that puppy. 100% is the best way to go. Oh, yeah. We had a dentist who came here, and he would come without his dog and just practice the mechanics, pretend with his pretend dog. He was brilliant.
Used a Kleenex box.
He used a Kleenex box attached to a leash. Okay. Any other questions for me?
Well, Tanya, I think you may have covered it. What if I'm in Wag Nation and Crate Games? Should I wait a year to join
No.
recallers? I don't want to sign up for too much.
No. So here's the cool thing, Tanya. You can sign up for recallers now, and then you have 2 weeks to decide, is it too much? I don't believe it's going to be too much for you. Do you want to take the puppy out and then bring her up, and we'll see a little bit of engagement work?
Can we do this now, or is that too not yet?
No, we can do that after. Is there ability for live video Zoom to show progress? I'm not sure what you're asking, but you can upload your videos of your training into so that we can see what you're doing for sure. And then our coaches will give you feedback.
Of the games that
Yeah, of the games that we're
games.
playing. Yep. So my dog knows it's your choice, but some days it's like she hasn't got a clue. So Pat, there's a line that I say to people, and sometimes they get angry when I say it, so please don't be offended, because it's true of me too. Our dogs are just a reflection of our ability. So if our dogs are being inconsistent, we have to look at, where am I sending mixed messages? Where's my dog allowed to just grab food? Are there times when I'm in a hurry that I just let them take food out of my hands? Is there times when other people, if you live with other people in the house, Pat, so there is a reason, there is some reinforcement happening that we have to deal with. And that's where you're going to get consistent. Or Pat, possibly my mentor, Bob Bailey, he would always say, number one reason for failure in dog training, expectations of the dog is too high, expectation of ourself is too low. So if I don't get results from my dog, I don't say, what did you do? You should know better. I say, what did I do? What could I have done different to give a different message? Okay, so it will happen, Pat. You just have to be consistent in what you are doing with your dog. Okay, we've got a little puppy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Prophet to go up on a table, and I'm going to train the puppy. Okay, she's on a leash. Okay, can you put her on a leash? Up. You don't have a leash? But does she have a collar? No. Okay. That might work. Yes. You just have to cinch the tab down a little bit more. So first thing I did is I asked for this puppy to be on a leash, because this is a huge environment. She has never been in this environment. She is 9 weeks old yesterday. There's so many things that she could figure out to do. Okay. Hey, little Winks. So, hi. Yay, there's a little baby. What am I doing first? I am making sure that she doesn't get distracted by her environment, that she will play with me. What? She says, I smelled cookies. This is a game. She's like, I want those cookies. I want those cookies. So I'm saying, you cannot have those cookies. You have to play with this tug toy. You have to play with this tug toy. And that's why she's on a leash, so that I can control the environment. Yay, yay, you got it, yay, yay, yay. Now I'm going to give her a cookie. Cook. Nice. So now she's going to say, I don't want to play with that tug toy. I want more cookies. So my cookie bag is closed up, and I'm going to say, get this tug toy. Yay, yay, that was super good. That is a good lesson for a baby. That is such a super good lesson. dancing for a baby. Yay, 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 yay. Cook. Nice. So good, little baby. Okay, so now, so I got her playing with the tug toy. Now I'm going to take it out of her mouth. Yes! 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 Yay! 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 So good! So good! Now I'm gonna take it out of her mouth. Strike! Yay! So just progressing that training. I'll do one more cookie. Cook. Nice. Cook. Strike. Yeah. That was so good, little wings. That was so good, little wings. Here you go, moms. Yay, you were so good. And you were so good too, bud. Cook. Okay, so lots of learning in the form of a game. Lots of learning in the form of a game. So I'm just going to share with you all the things that happened in that little session. Number one, I insisted the puppy be on a leash. Why? Because this is a massive area. There's all kinds of things for the puppy to engage with. She doesn't really know me. I cannot compete with all of that, but I can compete with just a short leash in a small area. So that's number one. Number two, as soon as I put her on the ground, I reinforce my dog. So I let him know this isn't about you right now. And then the next thing I didn't say, puppy, sit. But my goal was to help the puppy understand two things. Number one, when I offer a reinforcement, that's the one you're going to get. So she prefers food over toys. I want her to understand that we can go between them both. So what I did first, I didn't put criteria on the tug game. I just said, let's tug. I made it fun. And she said, at first she said, okay, but did you hear what happened? As we went along, she started growling at me. Oh, I like this game. Yeah. So once I got the growl, I knew arousal level was up. Now I can add more criteria to the game. So what did I do? I took the toy out of her mouth and I just was still. She offered a sit. Boom, we start the game again. I would go between cookies and food. That's what game-based learning looks like. It's controlling the environment and setting a puppy up so what you want is exactly what the puppy wants. And that's why Recallers works for everybody and their dogs, because we don't jump ahead. You might have a dog who doesn't like to tug. That's fine. We can play Recaller games without the tug toy, but you can join the Tugger's Corner to help build that off on the side as a separate thing, right? So you could see with a puppy who didn't know me, how quickly I could build something from nothing. That's a demonstration of the success of what we do here. And that's why I know it doesn't matter what breed of dog you have. It doesn't matter how much time you have in your life. It doesn't matter what other responsibility, how big an area you have, how big your backyard is, how much fancy equipment you have. It doesn't matter. What matters is your dog worth you investing the time in creating this deeper relationship? That's the question you have to ask. Is your puppy or your rescue dog or your 5-year-old dog or your geriatric dog worth the time that you would be investing in creating a better life for them? I think every dog is worth it, but that's a decision that you have to make. Okay, where's my bait pouch? My bait pouch is actually from Germany. Sorry. Okay, any other questions?
There was
Yep.
search and get it. They just needed to know why you use them interchangeably.
I don't think I used searched
So you
there. I
used-
used cook.
And
And I used strike. I did say get it once. And then when I knew that she was going to get, I didn't want to ruin her strike. Strike is her cue. That means grab the toy. But I gave her a intermediate cue till I knew she was going to grab the toy because she's not my puppy. I don't want to screw her up. But once I knew, okay, she's going to get it, then I'm going to use what her real cue will be. And yes, she is a charming little puppy, Nanette. Absolutely.
they're all asking who she is. It's not
Her-
Charlie.
Her name is Winx. This is not Charlie. This is yet another puppy that has visited our stage to help you learn about the program. Winx actually is going to be living here and at Linda's place for the next 8 months. So if you're in Recallers, you'll probably be seeing more of her and in Handling 360 because it's always good to share education with our community. Should you focus on one game a day or multiple? What happens, Danielle, like if you've gone through the season of nuance, and even if you haven't, you will have several games right now. So you will have search and cook and chow and hand target, and it's your choice. And so when you now join Recallers and you learn 4 additional games, you will bring those 4 games that you already learned in the season of nuance, and you will add them to it. So you're never playing one game. You're playing one game, one new game, but you're going to be adding these others. And the games that we play, it gets woven into the fabric of my life. So somebody comes to my door, say I had some what do you call it, blinds put on in my bedroom. So then the servicemen are leaving. They open the door and they go, oh, to my dogs. And I said, don't worry. There's 5 dogs escorting you out the door, but not one of them is going to go and leave with you. Because that is a game that has been woven into what we do. I never have to worry that somebody's going to open the door. My dogs aren't going to fly out. They just know. If I go to walk out the door and I touch a door handle, my dogs immediately go into a sit. I open, make sure it's safe. I might or might not have a little issue with delivery people coming to my home because I like to shop. So I never know who's wheeling up the driveway. Always want that safety. Look, we're good. Now we can go for a walk. All right. So you add one new game, but you'll be building those into your life with that dog.
Can you see Amy?
Amy, yep.
Yeah, let's show that one.
The knowledge that you'll carry with you after Recallers is so well worth it. Susan has made me into a better person, not just dog trainer. Amy, big hearts for you, Amy. Big hearts. Okay, was there a question about the cue sit? Okay, so I'm going to put that up one more time. Recallers.com/join. We close registrations tomorrow at midnight. Remember, there is a guarantee. There's not much in life that's guaranteed. Your journey with us is guaranteed. Join us, immerse yourself in the community, see what our educational website, it isn't like you're joining just a Facebook group. Although you can join our social Facebook group, you are joining an educational custom-built website that is all dedicated to Recallers. Join and see what it's like. See if we are your people. Am I somebody you want to spend time with? If so, let's spend a year together. Recallers.com/join. And if you have questions, just ask the team. They'll be there on the live stream, on the live link, live chat. I think it's called live chat with me, coffee corner. I don't know. You'll see it at the bottom. We'll see you guys.